Real Estate and Chill podcast, the newest and coolest podcast. So tune in. Two experts discussing the real estate market. Loan officer James Chaudhry and associate real estate broker Kevin Iglesias. Beware, this is not another boring podcast. This right here is the shit you need to hear. Respectfully.
Welcome. Welcome back to the newest episode of the Real Estate and Chill podcast. I'm your host, James Chaudhry from United Mortgage, here with
Kevin Iglesias, associate broker, Realty Connect. Today we have a VIP guest in the building, as always, all the way from New York City, all the way from Serhant. Oh man, I'm excited to introduce this guy. We have Kyle Scott in the building.
What's up, guys? I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming.
So it is a Saturday. I have family out here, which made it so convenient to come.
We're in Long Island, by the way.
Yeah, we're all Long Island. So we're all Long Islanders. I grew up. I went to the same middle school as Tom over there.
Yeah.
So Tom on the soundboard. So we are all from this area, which makes it so cool that we have similar roots.
Yo, you're such a radio voice.
Yeah, I had to say that. Right when we hit it, Kyle is just like on ready. I'm just like, damn, Kyle needs to host this show now.
So I did. That's how I started. So I have this long media career before going to work for Ryan. I started in radio in college. I ran our college radio station at Cornell, and which is where I learned how to speak into a microphone. And then after that, I did like 10 years at NBC. I met Ryan Serhant, pitched him on the idea of doing this course called Sell It Like Serhant, based on his best-selling book, based on the TV show on Bravo, and now we're here.
So you're I would guess, the creator.
Co-creator with Ryan. Yeah, with Ryan. Yeah,
sorry,
absolutely.
Sorry.
Co-creator with Ryan. No, but I met him, and we could I guess dive into the story if you want to do. But I met him when I was at NBC. I pitched my bosses, my executive producer at the time when I was doing digital towards the end of my time at NBC. Said, hey, we should do. I started a series. It was about how like CEOs and celebrities and famous people set up their offices. It was called A Better Day. And it was all about, like, how do they work? How do the physical surroundings play into their success? So I did Elvis Duran, Ryan Serhant. I did two people on Broadway. One was the genie on Aladdin, but he ended up playing, then he moved on to play on Hamilton, Jefferson, and Lafayette.
I was gonna ask if it was Will Smith, but I was
no, it was him. And I did the mother in Dear Evan Hansen. This was when Dear Evan Hansen was really big on Broadway, and I think I had like two or three other people on that series. But Ryan, that's how I met him, and then I did a couple more interviews with him because he's in the media all the time, and then that turned into, hey, what would it look like if we did a course together, and then we launched a business based on it. It's been a lot of fun.
And now look where it is now. That's crazy.
You guys just had an anniversary as well, right?
Yeah, we've been doing this for 2 years. So 109 countries, nearly 10,000 enrollees, all real estate agents who are learning to live their livelihood through mastery of sales. Their limitless livelihood.
Sell It Like Serhant course is what we're talking about.
Sell It Like Serhant course, yeah. Yeah, because like, look, if you're a real estate agent, yes. you're a mortgage broker, you're both salespeople, right?
Right.
Where did you learn to sell?
I learned just by experience, just from like in the first summer, just like being like an intern, basically. That's how I learned.
Yep.
And
how about you?
I just always had it in me. When I was in middle school, I would sell like LimeWire and Naps and all that. I would make CDs and just sell them because I just needed some money.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, wow, I love the
so it's all on-the-job training. Is finding a mentor. Maybe there's a mortgage broker at your firm who sort of taught you the ropes about how to do this.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But there is no formal sales training program. It doesn't exist. Which is shocking to us because sales is one of the greatest careers in the world, right? There is no ceiling. If you want to sell more today, tomorrow, next week, go sell more. Like no one's telling you only make $100,000 a year. Here is your bi-weekly paycheck. Done. That's it. No, you want to sell more? Generate more leads.
Yeah.
And Ryan says this all the time. No one's ever going to tell you that you sold too much today. Yeah. Right? Like, you want to make $1 billion? Figure it out. Which is great. Like, there's unlimited opportunity, but the reality is, we say there's unlimited opportunity, but you can only climb so high alone, right? Sales, you need support. You need other people. You need networking. You need to learn how to improve your game and craft your skills. So we believe that by building this sales education program as we continue to grow, not just for real estate agents, but for all salespeople, we're sort of tapping into something. Because it doesn't exist. There's no one who's saying sales is the greatest career. Like, no one is the champion of salespeople, like we are, because we really believe in it as a career.
Honestly, The thing is, like, first things first. The way you just speak, like, I feel like I'm just like in a trance. I was like, I just want to hear you speak.
I feel like everybody in Serhant just speaks so well. And
That's so funny.
Shout out to Sean, Niall, and Kit. We just had them on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Sean. We love all of them. Sean McPeek leads the McPeek team at Serhant, one of the top teams. He just won an award actually for with Ryan for the
Congrats.
Whoa!
Oh my gosh!
Hey, Sean McPeek and the McPeek team and Ryan. I love that.
Congrats to you, Sean.
They just won an award. I think it was for the best new development marketing campaign for the library. And then Niall.
About that on the show,
Yeah.
It was.
They just won. It was at Inman. They just won an award. Which is a big real estate conference.
That's in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, yeah. So I'm going on Monday. I'm flying to Las Vegas for Inman.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And we also have a dinner, mastermind dinner for Salt Lake Serhant.
Shout out to he's a Long Island real estate agent, Gio Flores. He was actually there.
Yes.
He had Ryan sign his
shirt. Yeah, we have a photo of that. That was
shout out to you,
yeah.
Gio.
Yeah, that you could frame that, Gio. We're just
sell it on eBay. $1 million.
$1 million for the signed shirt. Speaking of which, do you guys you don't have, we have to get these signed for you.
Yeah.
You have these copies of Big Money Energy here, but we got to get Ryan to sign them.
I think we need a tour.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Come out to the city, come out to Serhant HQ, and we'll get Ryan to sign these books for you.
That would be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, but so that's Sean McPeek, and then we have Niall. Niall is one of the capstone agents for Salt Lake Serhant. So
Ryan, Niall is one of the craziest, most
crazy.
individuals I've ever met in my life.
he is a salesperson. That is like 100%.
He's such a good time.
Yeah, he's such a good time. I know, that's Niall.
The crazy thing is, like, he's so, like, the way he speaks, it's so fun and it's so entertaining.
He just
but it's
captivates
so
you. Like,
informative,
he
too.
just has so much energy.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
And he has no filter. So
But you know, he used to sell knives for Cutco knives. Did he
knives.
tell you the story?
We spoke about it on our episode.
And then he did door-to-door home security system sales. Did you talk about that?
No, that he
picture
didn't bring
that,
up.
though. I got pictures.
Yeah. So you should go back and talk to him about this. But he had a way, like, literally to talk about foot in the door as a salesperson, as a home security salesperson. What did he open the door? He said, "You need a home security system." He'd point up to the threshold of the door, literally put one foot in, turn around, and point to the top of the door to talk about where you would place these home security alarms. Now he's literally in your house. He stepped over the door to show you where to put it, and now he's across the living room, going to the window, saying, "We're going to put a thing here, we're going to put a thing here."
I can picture.
And now he's there. That is foot in the door.
And then you can't really tell him to get out. How do you just tell him? I mean, you could, but it's not. He's not going to take no for an answer.
No, and that's crazy. Like, that is salesperson right there.
And Kit's a Long Islander as well.
Kid is a Long Islander. Yeah. And we like it. He's big in Brooklyn. He met someone named the door knocker, Ken Purdy, who's one of our pro members. He went around.
He followed us on Instagram.
Ken Purdy.
Yeah.
He went around door knocking with Ken in Brooklyn, and no one door knocks anymore. Like, I don't know. Do you?
It's big out here.
It's big because suburbs. Yeah. But in New York City, it's tough.
Get the off my stove.
Totally. So Ken Purdy is like this expert door knocker who's no nonsense. Will has the guts to go and knock on people's doors.
Is he in New York?
No, he's based in Canada, but he'll fly down here and do door knocking because there's such density in New York City, right? In the suburbs, you have to walk further to have more doors.
Yeah.
But in New York, it's townhouse in Brooklyn, so you could just go door after door after door.
They know you're coming. They hear your pitch down.
Hear your pitch, yeah, and they can hear you.
So obviously, when you pitched this idea to Ryan, what was his initial reaction?
It's like, have you ever done this before? No, but I can figure it out. And I think that's one of the most important skills for anyone, a salesperson or anyone, is the ability to figure stuff out. Because you're always, if you want a successful career, you always have to be pushing forward about something you've never done before. Like, if you just stick to the things that you've done, you're not getting anywhere. But you build on the skills that you have, right? I was a really good producer, and I still am a really good producer. And what is a course? It's video at the end of the day. Same with what I did at NBC for a decade. It's a journalist who takes complex information and translates it into a form that an audience can understand. That is journalism. And it can't just be boring information, right? Because you still have ratings that you have to think about. You have to have people who actually want to watch your video. So I think of it as entertaining, inspiring, and informative. And that's how we produce our courses, right?
Yeah.
What the best education is not just informative. Yes, you want it to be, but you also want it to be inspiring and entertaining so people actually watch it. So people actually take value from it and don't just say, that's just a guy talking at the chalkboard. Let me turn it off because there's no interest in me. So that's what it was. It was taking the same exact skill set. And yeah, I had to figure out some e-commerce stuff. But at the end of the day, that's all just technical.
Yeah.
Right. That's just what software do you use and how do you plug it in?
So we have a big real estate following. How can agents and brokers sign up for these classes?
Yeah, go to ryanserhant.com/course. And you'll see we're actually coming out. When is this podcast?
This is coming out airing next Sunday.
Next Sunday, perfect. So on November 24th, we're coming out with a new course. It's called How to Build a Personal Brand.
Exclusive.
Whoa! How to build a personal brand. But look, if you, for any salesperson, the number one skill is generating leads. It's the most important thing. Where do you get your leads from?
Door knocking, cold calling, referrals.
Yeah. And you don't and you don't have a business if you don't have leads, right? Yeah, no. And where do you get your leads from?
We have third-party what do you call it? We have third-party leads coming in for like open house campaigns, buyer campaigns, anything like that.
And you need those leads. Yeah.
100%,
So
yeah.
here's how you do it as a salesperson in 2022 and beyond. You build a personal brand for yourself. Like that's what you're doing on this podcast, right? People who are listening to this are going to think of you about real estate, right? Real Estate and Chill. What a clever name, by the way. But it's memorable, right? It's memorable. You guys like DM'd me. And it's like, oh, Real Estate and Chill. That sounds interesting.
We harassed you like a million
Look, I have the challenges. Like there's, and I was literally, as I was driving here, I was thinking about this because that's how this came together. It's like follow up, follow up, follow up. Or as Ryan will say, follow up, follow through, follow back. But the number one is the follow up. Because look, I think of it like being attacked in all directions all day between DMs, text, Slack messages, emails, people coming to my desk in person. Like it's just like a lot.
Yeah.
So you have to cut through the noise. How do you do that? By follow up. But look, what I was saying about the personal brand, Ryan built his whole business, his whole company, becoming the most followed brand in real estate by building a personal brand, coming up with a system for it. It's called the Serhant Brand Strategy System. There's 3 parts. Core identity, consistent content, shout it from the mountaintop. What you guys are doing right now is consistent content. Your podcast comes out how often?
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday. Not every Sunday, once upon a Tuesday, and then the following Wednesday. Every Sunday. And you have a built-in audience. The audience then tunes in. You have interesting content. You have great guests, including them Sean McPeek and Niall. Niall and Kit, and hopefully Kyle. Hopefully your audience likes this one. And then they may not want to buy with you today. They may not want to buy a mortgage with you today, right? The average American buys or sells a home once every 13 years. So on average, you got to follow up with someone for 13 years.
Yeah. And
only 1/13 of your following on average will even be in the market for buying a home in any given year or using your mortgage services. But your goal by having this podcast is when they are ready, they don't even think of anyone else. They think of you.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Keith Ferrazzi, who wrote a really wonderful book that has really set my career in motion when I read it in high school, like 2004. It's called Never Eat Alone. And the thing that we became friends with him through the course, and I interviewed him for NBC, and I've sort of kept in touch with him since then. But I remember he was telling us that he has a good friend. He's a real estate agent. He couldn't really remember the guy's name. He needed to sell his home in LA, like expensive home in LA. Like this is a very successful guy with real estate. But he couldn't find it, and there was a business card on his desk. And you know what he did? Looked at that business card and called that guy to sell the home. Not the guy he had the relationship with who he couldn't remember his name. He called the first person in front of him. So your goal as a real estate agent or as a mortgage broker is to consistently be the first person in front of you all the time. And you do that by building a personal brand. And we do that. We talk about exactly how to do that in the course. ryanserhant.com/course, dropping on November 24th.
All right, so the Mastermind Summit, that just happened in New York a couple of months ago?
September.
September. When is that coming back to New York?
It'll probably be first quarter 2022. We haven't announced a date yet.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's at, obviously,
Serhant HQ. Yeah. So the plan for next year is we'll do a few of these events, and we keep them intimate on purpose, right? Because we want networking is really important, and it's an important element of building a personal brand, right? Standing out among a sea of salespeople. You do that through personal relationships and consistent content. So we keep the ones in New York very intimate, and then at some point we will have a larger event, more like 250 to 500 people. That'll be different. But the ones in New York, we're really thinking about how do you keep them with capped at 25 people intimate, small, exclusive.
Okay. So let's sell this course. Pro member, is there a different type of members in this course?
No, anyone. So our pro members or our regular members get a discount, but as we always do for courses. But no, any real estate agent can buy the course. It is regular price $997. We are releasing it for a special discount on Black Friday. It is just $397.
Oh, okay.
$397. You learn the entire Ryan Serhant brand strategy system. It's like 5+ hours of content, three different parts. I think 56 chapters, 57 chapters.
Wow.
Is where we have it. Like if you want to learn how to stand out in your market, how to build a core identity that's memorable, how to do consistent content through social media, through podcasts, through newsletters, and then shout it from the mountaintop, meaning using the power of PR, the power of press, the power of speaking engagements, the power of podcast appearances, the power of community engagement and community events. Like you guys have signage out front, and I assume that you also do community events and like sort of community networking, right? How do you use all three of those things, core identity, consistent content, shout it from the mountaintop, to become the most known for what you want to be known for in your market? That is the course. It is only $397. That's for Black Friday.
That's
an exclusive.
RyanSerhant.com/course.
Everybody watching this better order that. $397 Black Friday sale.
Wait, should we pop the ready? For Black Friday, $397.
Black Friday sale!
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh!
That's awesome. With this one. It's still
that's the course, and it's so much fun to produce these things because there is no one else in the market who's doing it. Like you have, like I said earlier, like we look through education. This is through my entire NBC background. How do you produce something that is inspiring, entertaining, and informative all at the same time? Like that's what's actually going to get someone who's watching the course to take action. Because at the end of the day, what we want for everyone who gets the course is to actually take action based on it. It's not something where you can just sit back like you're on Netflix and just read and say, oh, that was nice. That's not the point, right?
Not for nothing, but $397 to learn how Ryan sells, it's a steal.
It's a great deal, right? It's a great deal. 100%.
I'm going to ask my wife to buy me that.
Yeah, there you go. That could be your Christmas present. Yeah. That is great. It is great. No, it's not that much. And it's the return on that investment. The return on that investment is absolutely incredible. Like, we're not talking about, you're going to generate one more lead. Like, how much is a home sale? What's the average home price that you sell?
Here in New York, I mean,
where you sell?
$550, $560.
Yeah, $560, and you can calculate your commission based on that. Like, imagine we're just talking about one more lead that gets you. We're talking about a lifetime of leads because this is a system. You do it once and you implement it once. You're going to expand on this year after year after year after year. It's like a snowball running down the hill, right? Have you ever made a snowball, right? Sometimes it's a little hard to put together. Maybe you have to add some water into it. You package it and then you try to roll it downhill. It doesn't really go anywhere because it's not that big. You put some more snow on, right? Add some more snow. And maybe give it a little bit more of a push. Okay, it finally starts rolling. At a certain point, it starts going down the hill and it picks up its own momentum. It starts pulling more snow in, starts actually picking up twigs and sticks and rocks that are on the hill. Now you got the snowball rolling down. That is your lead generation machine for the rest of your career, but it just starts now with building a personal brand and putting the system in place, right? Ryan took 10 years to figure this out. 10 years. We packaged it together in a course for you for $397, and you can get started on it November 24th.
So when can you order this?
When did you learn how to sell? I'm just like,
I can listen to him speak all day.
Yeah. Where did I learn to sell? I think it goes back to storytelling, right? And we haven't even talked about that yet. The power of storytelling. When I started my media career, my parents hated the idea that I was going into media. They hated it. They were like, we didn't send you to Cornell to go into media. You don't make any money in media. But it turns out the most powerful thing for any salesperson, any business, is the power of storytelling. You don't get anywhere without storytelling. You can have the best course. You can have the best cash money gun. You can have the best anything, right? But if you can't tell the story around it, you can't sell it, right? And we like to say, and that's what we talked about with salespeople, like salespeople are the lifeblood of the economy because any idea is just an idea until you put the salesperson and the sales machine behind it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that's all storytelling at the end of the day. Like, how do you sell homes? Once you get the lead, how do you sell?
How do I sell the home?
Yeah.
Video is big. Something you guys
Storytelling.
have-
It's a story.
Exactly. And what I love about the Serhant videos is not just like a typical tour. You guys tell the story.
Tell
behind
the storytelling. How do you sell mortgages? Do you
I
tell?
do the same thing. I just create relationships with the client and then, get personal with them.
Yeah.
That's
And
pretty
you
much
tell
it.
them the story about their future, right?
Yeah,
Their future. You
100%.
help them focus on the future.
No matter how difficult something is throughout the process, everybody knows at the end of the day they're going for something. They're going for that home purchase. So, if they're struggling through something, if they're having a difficult time getting something for me, like some documents or something, I just keep reminding them of like what they're actually doing it for. So
The end goal.
that always
end goal.
that
The
always just
story.
helps out with everything.
Jimmy and I, talking about follow up, he used to cold call me. This is how we met. He cold called me nonstop.
Wait, why did you cold call him? What was so special about this guy?
Good looking dude. No, it was just when I first started in the business, all I would do was cold call. So I would just like try to make as much because I didn't know anybody. So it's just like I was trying to make relationships, and a lot of the relationships that I had like from that day. Obviously, Kevin and I have a podcast now, so it's like a lot of like keep
Power
strong
of follow-up.
relationships, keep moving forward. Everybody, stick with who you start with, and go to the end with them. That's what I think. So
I like it.
You know what's so amazing about Serhant? It's a globally known brokerage.
Yeah.
The name is so big. Besides, obviously, Ryan, leading the crew, what is something that sets apart Serhant from everything else? Because everybody just thinks, when
Yeah.
they think real estate, Ryan Serhant.
Yeah. The Serhant is an agent-first brand, and we talked about that all the time. We believe so much in the power of the agent to create their own brand. That's what it's all about. And the power of the agent to build relationships, because it doesn't matter today what the name is on the door, right? What matters is the individual salesperson, the individual sales agent building relationships. So we very much put the agents in front of the Serhant brand. Put the agents out front, build the agents' social media platforms through Serhant Studios, right? The studios division. Help agents make videos through the Serhant Studios division, all to get their agent brand out into the world. And that's what separates it from everything everywhere else. The other brokerages are very much focused on the brokerage. We're focused on the agent.
Agent first. That's amazing. We have Alec, who's coming from Texas, who's a pro member. He's
I know, Alec. Yeah.
he's coming on next week.
Is he flying
Shout
yet?
out,
Yeah, he is
shout out
flying.
to Alec, because the thing is, we're having a charity game on Wednesday this week, so we're raising
$10,000
$10,000 for St. Jude's.
Oh, wow.
We're doing like a basketball game. Team Kevin against Team James.
And where is this?
LIU Post.
Oh, right on Long Island. Yep.
So we're right here. So by the time this airs, the game will be done and the winner will already be set. That'll
be me.
It's gonna be me. It's gonna be funny you saying that after the game's over, but. He's flying out for the game, and then we're gonna shoot the next day.
Oh, it's my friend. How did you build the relationship with him?
That was
Social
actually Kevin.
media.
Yeah.
You DM'd.
Yep, DM.
Yeah. And
Goes
that
down
worked.
in
And
the DM.
it works.
Yeah.
Look, if you were looking to cut through the noise, it's text or DM. Like there's so many emails. Don't cold call people. I know you guys cold call, but like it's hard because people are busy all day. But it's really easy because where are people when they're waiting in line on the subway on getting coffee?
phone.
They're on their phone looking at the DMs, looking at Instagram, right? That's the best way to cut through the noise. And that's smart. You just keep following up there.
You know what's crazy? Gary Vee was saying this like so many years ago, and then Gary Vee was on a podcast with Ryan Serhant, and they were talking about like their startups and everything. And Gary Vee was saying that like 5-10 years ago, when I wasn't on Instagram, I started in the business like 4 years ago, but he was saying like social media is going to be the next big thing. Like it's so cheap to get involved right now. Now, like, the prices are not, like, so expensive, I would say, depending on what you're doing and what your market share is. But, things are just going to get more and more expensive. And
on
it's just,
social
like,
meest
Yeah. And, like, if you have your audience, like, set in place before it keeps getting more and more expensive,
Yeah, I mean, the best social media is not going anywhere. And the best time to get started on social media is now. Like, right now. Like, there's so many
Yesterday.
people. Yeah. I wish we could do yesterday. But look, this goes back to the point I was making earlier. It's that snowball rolling down the hill. Like, the sooner you start, the more it's going to compound for you over time.
Right.
It's like investing in the stock market, right? They always talk about compounding, right? $1 you invest in the stock market today is worth so much more in the future, right? That's where this whole idea of like stop buying lattes comes from. Because instead of buying, it's not a latte, this is a coffee. But instead of buying, this was I think $2.95 in theory, and I did a video on this at NBC. I forget the numbers now because this was a couple of years ago. But that $3 that I spent on this coffee in theory, when I'm ready to retire, is worth like $5,000 or something like that. And you think about it, I'm like sitting here drinking a $5,000 coffee because of the power of compounding. But that's exactly how it works with your personal brand and social media. Like, you have to start now, because if you say I'm going to do tomorrow never comes. And even if it does come, you just wasted all of this power of compounding of your personal brand.
So just to touch base on that, I haven't even been on social media for a year. I got on social media in March, but I've been in the business since 2016. And when I started, I spoke about this before, Ryan came to be a keynote speaker at the meeting, and just hearing him speak, I was like, wow, I'm sold. Anything he says, I'm sold.
It's the ultimate salesperson.
Yeah.
100%.
So being on social media less than a year, starting a podcast, doing everything that we're doing, like you said, it just happened.
How
so
has that
fast.
impacted your business, your actual real estate business or your actual mortgage business?
It's been crazy.
Created new relationships like this.
Yeah.
Meeting you guys, everybody from Serhant. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it all.
Yeah.
So, but it's insane because I met him in 2016. He was a keynote speaker. Now in January 2022, there's an event going on with Joe Sonona, who's
Joe Sonona. Yeah. I know. Ryan's doing a speaking event.
and I'll be speaking at the event.
Oh, small world. That's on Long Island. That's here on Long Island.
Yes.
Yeah, because I do all of Ryan's speaking. So Joe reached out. Yeah, I sell all the speaking.
I know. I'm a sponsor of the event, so that's a
small
world.
Small world. Look at that. Yeah, and then we have Jen Rafferty. If Jen Rafferty's listening, Jen does all the coordination. So after I set it up, tee it up, do the sale, to get Ryan, speaking engagements, all that. Then Jen Rafferty coordinates all of it from there and does an amazing job.
Yeah, it's so amazing. Yeah, just like I said, it's so surreal seeing him in 2016 when I didn't know how to sell anything.
Yeah,
in real estate. Now to actually be a speaker.
How did you get to be a speaker? Yeah, how did you get to be a speaker on the Joe Sonona event?
I was chosen by Joe Sonona.
Yeah, and how did you get to know Joe Sonona?
Through the podcast.
Hey, consistent content. It works. It's almost like it actually works, right?
So on Long Island, and so they win awards out there too, right? So I won top 20 under 40, which is awarded by YPN.
Yeah.
Young
Professional Network, YPN. Yeah.
Wow. How do you?
Because what else? That's what everyone has a YPN, and it always stands for Young Professionals Network. Yeah.
All right. So LIBOR Long Island Board of Realtors awarded me for 2021 Rising Star in Real Estate.
Yeah.
So Joe Sonona reached out, asked me to speak on the panel. I said I would love to. Of course, I'd be honored to. It's amazing.
Yeah. How did you get the Rising Star Award?
So that was given for the year of 2020 when COVID first hit us, and I'm a hustler. So in 2020, I said, all right, either my business is really going to just tumble down or I'm just going to use this pressure to build myself up. And that's exactly what I did. Yeah. When everybody was just like, oh, we got to take a break, I was just fast forward. I was just moving.
That's the time to go.
Yeah. I wasn't waiting for anybody.
So what did you do that year that got you the award, or what were you recognized for? Besides being awesome.
So there's so many agents on Long Island, and only the top 20 get chosen. You have to stand out, right? It's an application that you have to fill. So it's not like, all right, you win automatically. You have to be chosen for it. And we started the podcast. We were just doing so much, within that year. We launched it this year, but the idea was there. And just nonstop selling, just selling. Yeah. Nonstop. That was my best year in real estate, 2020. Who would have thought? Yeah. Everybody thought the market was going to crash.
Yeah. Because there's opportunity. Where there's volatile markets, there's actual opportunity. And everyone else is afraid of slowing down. That's when you can push forward smartly. Because there's also risk. Like where there's more reward, there's also more risk. And flip that around.
And we saw the video with Ryan when he first announced that he was opening Serhant. He was on the helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
Serhant outfit. Yeah. And, I mean, that risk was insane because everybody was like, who would have thought that he would open a brokerage during COVID? Yeah. And be as successful as it is now.
Yeah. And that was a very well-calculated risk. But also, like, Ryan's not going to fail. That's the other thing. It's like, you can take someone like that, like, he's not going to fail. He's very successful, very smart guy. He'll be fine. And he's going to just push through by outworking and outsmarting everyone else. Yeah. The hardest working guy in the world.
I always say, look, I'm not scared to do anything, but I think having fear it's a good thing, right? The fear to fail, the fear to not succeed. So you want to push yourself and do a lot more.
Right. Yeah. Ryan, we'll call it the wall. Right. What is that thing that you push your back up against? Because that's going to propel you further than anything else. And I think for me, it is a little bit of failure too, or the fear of like not being successful.
Right.
More than it's like being pushed by the fear of not being successful more than being pushed by success itself, which is crazy. But if it works, it works.
Honestly, the thing is, I've heard so many different things about Ryan Serhant. Is it true that he blocks his time in 15-minute intervals?
Yes.
That's crazy.
He is calendared. He is very calendared, very punctual. But it's discipline, right? That takes discipline, true discipline. And that's important for sales. That's why also we love I believe so much that veterans, we do a lot of work with veterans. It's a perfect career for veterans because you have the discipline, and sales requires discipline. It requires making your cold calls. It requires doing your door knocking. It requires following up with your leads. Following up, that's not, I'm just going to do that tomorrow. You got to do it now. Otherwise, you're not going to have a sales career. And if you're disciplined, like Ryan is with the calendar, with everything that he does, veterans learn a lot of discipline. Successful salespeople learn it from other ways, but it's that discipline that will push you forward to success.
Now, when you were in Cornell, did you ever picture yourself like, I'm going to be a part of one of the biggest brokerages, or just have such a position of power?
No, I thought I was going to go into banking. Because, look, I was an applied economics and management major with a concentration in accounting and finance. I ran the college radio station, and initially it was like, I'm going to take accounting and finance. I'm going to do media banking, right? But then I fell in love with the production side of it when I was running the radio station. Yes, I was responsible for the business of the radio station. This radio station is different in that there's no student activity fee, right? Like a lot of colleges have you're just going to get a student activity fee. No, we had salespeople, and we had a P&L. And it was on me to make sure that the business actually was successful and could keep going. Because it's been in business, I think, since 1913, this radio station at Cornell. And it was on me for a year to carry the torch until I passed it to someone else. Anyway, so I love the business side, but I really love the production side. And I pitched this idea. I was doing a radio show with Tommy Bruce, who was then Cornell's VP of Communications. I pitched the idea, what would it look like? It's never been done before with Cornell's president, David Scorton. Let's bring him on the show, on the radio show that we did every other Sunday night. But not just put him on the radio. What if we did a town hall, a live town hall at Willard Straight Hall? And it's not just going to be a town hall with people that were broadcasting on the radio. We're going to video stream it. Now, this was 2011, before video stream really became. So I pitched that idea to Cornell's administration. They said, okay. So they brought in a video team. This was serious production. It was Cornell putting together a production for me. We broadcast it on the radio. We live streamed it on Cornell's website, and we had a live audience. And I was sitting up there as me, David Scorton, and Tommy Bruce, Cornell's vice president of communications. And there was a stage manager, and they were counting 3, 2, 1. Music comes out. Our theme song for this radio show that we did together comes up, and I had a rush I've never experienced in my life. I've never experienced since. And I said, I have to do this. This is crazy what we put together. Zero experience in production. And yet here I am sitting with Cornell's president, live streaming and putting it on the radio. And I have an audience in front of me. Crazy.
So surreal. So surreal.
And that's how I ended up in media production. I was this is so much fun. So that's how I ended up doing all of this and not doing finance.
Speaking about storytelling, you just heard a story from him. So it's just
that was my origin story.
Do you sell a course on how to storytell?
I should. It's on my mind. So I have a really great presentation that I do. It's the power of practical storytelling. And it walks through, and I've done this presentation for 5 years now, and I've done it twice at our mastermind summits. So, so I have this presentation that I go through about the power of storytelling because it's so important. But what I love about this, and we started talking about this before we didn't finish the story. When I went to media, I told you, my parents said, don't do that. But turns out because storytelling was for kids, right? It's something that you have the bedtime story. I have a son now. We read him stories in books. It was never for serious study and serious consideration. Yet, if you look back into the actual neuroscience behind this, our brains light up in a very different way when we're listening to stories than we do facts, right? You're a real estate agent. You could say the facts about a home. You could say it has 2 bedrooms. It has 900 square feet. It has a backyard. It has a heated pool, and the pool is heated to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not exciting.
Boring.
Okay. But you know what is exciting? Imagine when you move into this home in the summer, your kids are going to be running through the house. They're going to be running outside, towels on their backs, sunscreen in their hand, running out to the 80-degree pool, even on a cloudy day. You're going to be hanging out there. You're going to be barbecuing. Everyone's going to be in the pool.
I'm buying that house. I'm sold.
Yeah, that was.
Why aren't you a realtor?
But that's it, right? So here's the difference, and this is important, right? So that's the difference between your brain on facts and your brain on story. But the neuroscience tells us that when your brain is listening to that story, it's lighting up your motor cortex, it's lighting up your visual cortex, it's lighting up Broca's area and Wernicke's area. These are two areas of your brain for speech production and speech comprehension, and a bunch of other areas too. And that's encoding memories, right? The science tells us that when all of these different neurons in these different areas of our brain are firing, we're making memories, which means that home with the 80-degree pool becomes so much more memorable than the home that you said is 2 bedrooms and it has 900 square feet, which means they're more likely to come back to it, more likely to return to you, and more likely to buy it at the end of the day.
I love this episode.
Yeah. So look, that's the power of storytelling, and if you can master it, and what people don't understand, people think that it's reserved for the domain of directors and actors and novelists, right? All these so-called creative people, but in reality, all those creative people do is use a storytelling format that's existed since BC, like in the like, if you look back to the Odyssey, right? That was written in 700 BC. If you look back to the story of any religion, the story of like Christ in the Bible, if you look to the middle of this century, like stories like, I don't know, like MASH, right? The classic TV show, or today, like The Crown on Netflix, they all follow the same exact storytelling format. History of time. Which means that any story that you're writing that you want to tell about a house, about a mortgage, about a company, if you're an entrepreneur, just follow the same format. It's once upon a time, until one day, because of that, until finally. That's storytelling.
I'm saving that.
Yeah, that's storytelling. And then like you can go a layer deeper and look at like the 3-act structure and like how to structure it, right? There's like the hero's journey where it's like, okay, am I going to do this? Am I not going to do this? Okay, they decide to do that. You can go back to like Star Wars, right? A classic story that a lot of people know, and I like to use this as an example because a lot of people know it, right? If you look at Luke Skywalker, he didn't want to do it, right? No, I'm not going to do it. Until this inciting incident, which was his uncle and aunt died. And then all of a sudden, boom, I'm on a journey, right? He goes on a journey. There's a crisis, right? Obi-Wan Kenobi dies. That's Luke's big crisis. And then he sort of thinks about it. Han Solo goes away. And then they continue until this big climax. And then there's a big celebration at the end. That's how you tell a story.
I am your father.
Yeah. So, but you can look. The reality is, no matter what story you're reading, it follows that format. So yeah, I should do a course.
You should.
Honestly, if you do, I'll be the first person to buy it.
Yeah.
Because
Kyle Scott course.
I like it. I think that would be amazing. And honestly, we have to title this video "Storytelling in Real Estate" because, like, you just taught everybody like something that I'm sure
A lot of people are gonna learn a lot of things from this episode.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite episodes.
Thank you. Yeah, but look, for real estate, like your audience's real estate agent, it's not just in the videos, it's also in the listing descriptions, right? You don't lead your listing description with what we were talking about. 900 square feet home, 2-bedroom. No, you lead it with the character of the reader in mind. Walk into your palatial foyer with 13-foot ceilings, right? You can add that detail in, but you're taking the reader of that listing description on a journey. The reader, is walking into the palatial foyer. You're continuing to the breakfast nook where your coffee is sitting waiting for you, right? And you take them through the story of the house, but in so doing, you're also talking about the features, right? The breakfast nook is a feature of the house, but you're putting a layer of story on top of that to make it much more interesting than just the house has a breakfast nook, period.
This is why he does what he does. This is why I see it now.
But do you do this in your listing? You're a top real estate agent on Long Island.
See, it's different here on Long Island because when I read descriptions in New York, they're exactly like what you're saying. It's storytelling. Video-wise, yes, we tell a story when we do the video. But out here in Long Island, it's very like, all right, this home features 4 bedrooms. This home features 2 baths. It's different than what it is in the city.
But it shouldn't be, right? Like storytelling is universal. Universal across culture, across language, across time period. That is one of the fundamental characteristics that literally every civilization has ever had. Storytelling. So you should be the one to evolve the Long Island listing
That's funny
descriptions.
you say that because now, like, honestly, like from this day forward, I'm really going to start doing more story in my property descriptions. Not just in the video, because in the video we do tell stories.
Yeah.
But in the property description.
In the property description too, because remember, someone's looking on Zillow or Redfin or whatever it might be. Do you have a special Long Island?
It's called One Key MLS.
One Key MLS, yeah. And they're listing after listing after listing. What is something that's going to help it stand out? Not another one with 3 bedrooms. It's the one that's telling the story. That'll help it stand out, right? And then you reinforce that story with the photos. with the video. So it's all one cohesive narrative, almost like a core identity and a brand strategy system that goes back, like you create an identity for the house. And something that I'll give you is one of the ways that Ryan sells, and he talks about this all the time, it only really works for like sort of trophy houses, but brand the house. Instead of calling it 123 Main Street, call it the White House on Main Street or the Blue House on Main Street. I forget the name of it. There was a house that Ryan was selling in Greenwich, Connecticut, that he put the name of the house was, just the address. And then he called it something like, and I forget the name of it, but like something Manor. And all of a sudden, didn't change anything else, just changed the name of the house. It's sold. And there was a story behind, one of Greenwich's classic estates, the This Thing Manor. Oh, that's more interesting than 123 Leafy Lane, right?
Wait, is that why it's called the library, or is that actually just the building?
Oh, the library of the building. Yeah, no, the building is like something Rivington Street, but no, they branded it the
really?
library.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you said that. I was like, wait, the library?
yeah, the library, the new development. So the new development building with Ryan and Sean McPeek that we talked about earlier in this podcast. Yeah, they named it the library because it's much more interesting and tells a story. Other than
Full
just
circle.
Yeah,
full
other than
circle.
just
Definitely full circle.
the address. And if you look at the video that Ryan put out when they launched the library, it is Ryan walking through this old school library with like books full of dust, like telling the story of this thing instead of just, hello, we have a building, it is new, we call it the library. Like we call it 123 Rivington Street. Like it's not interesting, right? That doesn't stand out, and that's why they won the award for that, because it's storytelling.
That's amazing. Yeah, I was talking to Sean in DMs, and he was like, "Yeah, we just got an award." I was like, "Wow, that's amazing! You guys are killing it."
Yeah.
And that's a big honor.
It is a big, yeah. I mean, of all of the new development, they're the ones who won the award. Like, there's so much new development.
Honestly, I'm excited to see like the main different things that you guys are. I mean, you guys are doing so many different things now. To see what you guys are gonna be doing in the future as technology progresses and everything like that.
Oh yeah, we're just getting started.
How
Yeah, I'm
amazing
excited to
was
see.
that 1 year anniversary?
Oh yeah. So 1 year anniversary of the Serhant House. Were you there?
Yeah, we were there. We were the confetti flying around.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, no, that was fun. I mean, Serhant House was designed by like these top architects. It was just featured in Architectural Digest. Like it is a
Yeah, we saw that on
beautiful,
Ryan's, story.
beautiful house. It is like, it's not an office. It's Serhant House. It's like Soho House, but it's like really well designed for the workplace of the future, right? People are mobile today, especially agents. They don't sit in a cubicle or at a desk like they once did, right? So they're in, they're out. They could drop off. They could have clients at these really nice seating areas that we have, and it's really well decorated to reflect the luxury persona of the brand.
Yeah, it doesn't have that office feel.
No.
It's like a different vibe.
Yeah, it's a Serhant House, not
amazing.
Serhant Office. Yeah.
And that's what, 15,000 square feet?
If that's what the article says, I don't know the square footage. I'm not a real
I think
estate
that's what
person.
Niall looked at.
You say you're not a real estate person, but you know exactly what you're doing. You could become a realtor tomorrow. I feel like.
I could. No, I could.
What's your day consist of? Like, what do you... I feel like you have so much energy.
Yeah, I mean, it's different every day, which is what makes it so much fun, right? You never want to be in a job, a career that is just you go in, you run your reports, you do your spreadsheet, and then you leave. It's not interesting. But for me, like I run Serhant Ventures, which is the sort of thought leadership division of Ryan's company. So it's speaking, it's books, it's courses, it's our consulting programs, and it's events. Right, so any given day, I'm doing many different things.
Oh, so that's how you knew about Joe Sonona. I guess it goes through you.
Speaking, speaking.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So, no, it's a lot of meetings, especially as the team grows. Unfortunately, it's been really interesting to evolve from being an individual contributor to being a manager. It's been really hard to learn, and this is true of anyone who's going through this like growth phase of a business. It's really hard to go from you're used to doing all of the things, especially because it used to just be me running the course, and then we hired Sydney Sherman, who then helped me, and then it was me, Sydney, and Raphael, and now we have like 10 people, and we're hiring like 5 more people. So what that is challenging is to go from I write the marketing emails, I do the landing pages, I do the everything, to, now we have the landing page person and the marketing person and the community person, which is great. And that's how a business evolves. But there's a learning curve to delegating and figuring out where to be able to step back and where you need to be able to push forward personally.
Honestly, it's crazy how he could do so many different things, and I see why, because you run this whole thing, which is crazy. And with your background, that's just crazy. You know exactly how to do this.
You have the vision.
Before you even went into it. Like,
yeah.
You have the vision.
Yeah, it's a unique set of skills, which is so true. Like undergraduate business, MBA, which is like formal business. And then at NBC, I learned how to produce and how to tell stories. That is what a business is.
How old is your son?
He is almost 2 years old.
Yo, the story times are lit.
Yeah, I know. I tell stories all the time. He's like, whoa. No, he likes to read books and watch Shark Dog on Netflix and Coco Melon on Netflix.
Oh, I'm so tired. I have a 5-month-old at home.
Oh, so are you in the Coco Melon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know Coco Melon. They have great songs.
I watch Coco Melon all the time. I love that.
Do you have a kid? No. Yeah.
He's just a kid.
Right now he's obsessed with a song called it's like Pumpkin. Do you know that one?
No, I know Skidamarink.
No, there's one about pumpkin patches because it's like Holly sees pumpkins everywhere. There's one about pumpkin patches, like pumpkin. You'll find it on Coco Melon. And then there's Shark Dog, which is a crazy premise for a story. It's like this kid finds a shark in the water who's also a dog, and he takes him home and then tries to hide him from his parents. I'm like, tell my wife, I'm like, this is not good education for him. I do not want him learning how to get a secret dog and bring him home and keeping it from us. But that's the show. It's shark plus dog equals Shark Dog.
I would love to see story time. That'd be amazing.
Story time at the Scott household.
What's your address? We'll door knock.
All right. So, is there anything you would like to leave our audience with?
Yeah, look,
they've learned so much on this episode.
I love this episode.
This has been so much fun. Thank you for having me on.
It's an honor for you being here.
Yeah, this has been so much fun. You guys are great, and I look forward to continuing to listen to the podcast and like watching you expand the podcast too. Like this is just this. You've only been doing it for how long?
Since March.
Since March, yeah. It's just the start of it. And if you keep, and you will, like you keep getting in guests and keep being tenacious, I think is the word that I want to use about like follow. You're gonna get like Ryan in here before you know it.
So that'd be awesome.
Yeah. But the look, we talked a lot about storytelling. We talked a lot about personal branding. We have that new personal brand course coming out November 24th. Regular price is $9.97. It's on Black Friday sale for just.
If you don't buy that course after hearing this
buying
episode,
that course.
I know.
I know we need a promo code too.
Oh, we can. We have an affiliate program. Let's set you guys up. Seriously.
Seriously.
Email us, courses@ryanserhant.com. That is our customer service line. But email, or you guys know how to find me. And we'll set you guys up as an affiliate. No, 100%. We'll give you an affiliate code to all the listeners of the podcast. We'll get extra discount off the $3.97.
Promo code
real estate. What do you want to?
Real estate and chill.
Real estate and chill. Promo code real estate and chill. So Raphael, who sets up our promo codes, and John Shaughnessy, if you're listening, we're setting up an affiliate link with promo code real estate and chill. I hope that's not too many characters. We will find out.
Or REC.
REC. Okay, it's gonna be
REAC.
It's gonna be one of the two. Hopefully, real estate and chill is much more memorable.
That'd be awesome.
All right, so we'll set you guys up as an affiliate. It'll be awesome.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm buying that course.
Awesome.
I'm buying that course right when it comes out.
Tom, you're buying that course? I'm buying that course.
Wait, do we have any more of these? Ready? For the course. Ready? Oh,
for the course.
For the course. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm going to have so much fun with this.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. This was so much fun.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Where can people reach out to you?
Kyle Scott Original on Instagram. Or email me, kyle@serhant.com or ks@kylescott.com.
You heard it here, people. Purchase that program, Black Friday, $3.97. You'll learn so much, how to tell stories, and everything else.
He already told you. We don't need to say anything.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the newest episode of the Real Estate and Chill podcast. We will see you next time. Cue the outro.
Thank you for tuning in to the Real Estate and Chill podcast with James Chaudhry and Kevin Iglesias. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share this with your friends, your enemies, your mother-in-law. No, seriously, this podcast is so fucking good, you might want to tell your ex. See you next time.